Hello, my name is Isabel and I'm going to present the lesson plan that I have created for CLIL. This lesson plan will be related with the Unit 2, which is cardiovascular system, and in the subject of physiopathology. The level of the target students will be first course of ciclo formativo de grado medio auxiliar de enfermería, and we will need 3 lessons to complete this unit. Regarding subject matter objectives, firstly we will introduce cardiovascular system and their organization and functionality. Also, we will study components of cardiovascular system, functioning and parts of the heart, circulation, disorders related with cardiovascular system, and at the end, healthy habits to avoid these disorders. About communication objectives, I have divided in 2 of them. Firstly, vocabulary related to the main topic, which is basically blood cells, blood vessels, part of the heart, arterial pressure, and also grammar, in which I want to have a look to past tenses, past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. We will also review prepositions from and towards, and making questions using past tenses. Students are supposed to already know more or less the grammar, but the vocabulary is new for them. For most of them, this vocabulary is new. So vocabulary is more important than grammar in this unit. About cognition objectives, I will provide learners with opportunities to understand the main concepts and apply them in the different contexts. I mean, in their real life. They want them to understand the relation between the knowledge studied at school and their real life. I want to encourage the analysis of their own daily habits as well in relation with the cardiovascular health, because most of them are too young to think about that. I want to enable learners to evaluate their own knowledge, and also I want them to evaluate their college work. And I want them to build vocabulary learning and use it. Regarding culture, we will identify cardiovascular problems suffered by real people. We will become aware of the importance of a healthy life to avoid cardiovascular disorders in the future, which I think is a really important topic of this unit. And I will make them to understand that they can learn no matter the language. I mean, they can learn in Spanish and also they can learn in English. The basic competence I want to work with this unit are basically 3. Firstly, literacy and languages, which is obvious because we are in a CLIL class, so they will study English. I want to work also with math, science, and engineering competence, because we are in physiopathology, which is a science subject. And I want to work also with a learning to learn competence, because I want a student to think about what they already know at the beginning. Then I will make them to evaluate not only their college work, but also their own work. And at the end, they will review the new knowledge they have acquired during this unit. The skills we will work during this unit are basically all of them, and now I'm going to present the activities and we will see which skill is working in each activity. In the first lesson, we will make 5 activities. The first activity is a previous knowledge activity. I will help them to remember what they know about the main topic. This activity just consists of a simple exercise in which they have to mark functions of cardiovascular system. All the answers are already written, so the level of complexity is low because the lecture has not been started yet, so I don't want them to be crazy about that. I want them to be confident with the topic. So this activity is too easy and it's just to think about what I already know. The second activity is a listening. Basically, it's a cardiovascular system lecture where I will explain them all the subject matter content. To the speed, I will try to make it slow. I will increase in pauses, and I will try also to speak in phrases in order to help them with the comprehension of the oral English. After that, we will make a vocabulary activity. I want them to complete some sentence with the with the technical vocabulary that I have used during the lecture. As the vocabulary can be difficult, I will give them the words, so they don't have to think the word, they just have to think which word is more suitable for each sentence. So it's a little bit more difficult than the first one, but still easy because the lecture has just been finished, so they have not enough time to understand all the information. Next, we will make another vocabulary activity. In this case, it is an extended vocabulary exercise with synonyms. Words are not given because they have already done another exercise where all the words are given, so this is a little bit more difficult for them. However, first word was complete as an example to give them with the activity. And at the end of the first lesson, we will make the last vocabulary activity, which consists of include in his own dictionary all the words that they didn't know and think can be relevant for the topic. This is an activity that we made during all the units, and at the end of the course I evaluate the dictionaries. For this activity, no scaffolding technique was needed. During the second lesson, we will start with prepositions. They will make an exercise to practice towards and from. And also at the same time, they will review the name of the main blood vessels that we have already studied in the first lesson. As they had already had time to review the subject matter content, no example was complete, neither words were given, so this activity is a little bit more difficult than the ones done during the first lesson. Also because they are supposed to already know towards and from as prepositions because of the secondary school. Next, we will make a reading. They will be given a reading about some famous people that suffers cardiovascular system disorders. And while they are reading, they are asked to have a look to past tense structures and think about the different use of each one. The article is a real one. I have found it in the internet. However, I have selected an easy one with short paragraphs with some images to help them to be more confident with real information, but still has to be easy because the level of English is not too high. Also, in the second lesson, after the reading, they will be asked to complete a table with healthy and unhealthy habits for cardiovascular system. They can use the information found in the reading, and also they can look for some extra information, or they can ask me. As this exercise may be too broad, an example was given to give them with the topic of healthy and unhealthy habits, because this is the first time we are going to talk about that. But I don't think it's going to be too difficult for them, because in the reading some information is given about that. Next, we will make a writing. In pairs, they will be asked to invent the story of a fictitious famous person that has a cardiovascular system disorder, and they must include past tenses. I will be available to help them with doubts, but they have to do it by themselves, because they have already all the information they need to do it. In the last lesson, we will start with an speaking and listening activity. The story will be orally presented, also in pairs. And the rest of the students will make questions about the story using past tenses. They are supposed to know how to do past tenses questions, but still I will be available to be asked. Also, at the same time, I want them to evaluate in their work and also their colleagues' work, and score all the stories and the oral presentation at the end. And for the last time of this Unit 2, we will make a cardiovascular system quiz to review the acquired knowledge. And for this activity, no scaffolding technique was needed, because they are supposed to be independent to do it. These are the assessment criteria used for evaluate this unit, and the instruments are basically three. Firstly, teacher will monitor students' work at class by taking notes. Most of the exercise will be scored depending on the number of correct and incorrect answers. And also a rubric will be used to evaluate written stories and their oral presentation. And this is the rubric that I have made to evaluate the stories activity. Now I'm going to show you the Padlet that I have created with all the activities they have to do. So I have included firstly the lesson plan, then first lesson activities, second lesson activities, and third lesson activities. At the end, I have included another column with the resource in order to help them with looking for information in the internet, because internet can be very broad for them. So these are useful websites for them to complete the information given during the unit. And all the activities for me are important for the comprehension of the unit, but for sure I think that the stories activities, which is activity 9, activity 10 and activity 11, is the most complete activity for them, because they are supposed to put all the information in practice. They are supposed to include past sentence. Also, they have to know about cardiovascular systems, and healthy habits. And also they have to have a little bit of creativity to make the story. And at the same time, they are supposed to evaluate their work. They have to present it orally. So I think this is the activity in which they have a real understanding of all the unit. And that's all.